Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to tell you a story that begins with silence, hunger, and one small moment that changed everything. It was a late evening in a modest restaurant, the kind of place where the lights are warm, but slightly dim, where the smell of food hangs heavy in the air and every table holds a different story. He had come there after a long day, shoulders tired, mind full, just wanting a quiet meal before heading home. He sat alone at a corner table, scrolling his phone, waiting for his order, not really noticing anyone else around him. A few tables away, she sat with her little girl. The woman looked exhausted, the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. Clothes were clean but worn, her hands constantly moving, adjusting her daughter's jacket, tucking her hair behind her ears, glancing around as if she didn't want to be seen. The little girl couldn't have been more than 6. She sat quietly, swinging her feet under the chair, eyes wide, taking everything in. They had only ordered one small plate and a glass of water. No drinks, no dessert, nothing extra. When the food arrived, the woman pushed most of it toward her daughter. She barely ate herself, just took a few careful bites, as if she was measuring each one. The little girl ate slowly, too slowly for a hungry child, as if she already understood that this was all there was. The woman kept smiling at her, a soft smile that tried very hard to hide worry. Every now and then, she glanced at the door, like she was counting the minutes. He didn't notice them at first. His own plate arrived, full and steaming. He picked up his fork, ready to eat, when he felt something, not a sound, not a tap, just a presence. He looked up by accident, and that's when he saw it. The little girl was staring at his plate. Not in a rude way, not reaching or pointing, just staring. Her eyes moved from the food to her mother and back again. There was no begging in her face, just quiet longing. The kind that hurts more because it's silent. The woman noticed it too. Her smile faded for half a second. She gently turned her daughter's face away and whispered something to her. The little girl nodded quickly, embarrassed, and stared down at her hands. The woman reached for her bag, pulled out a few bills, counted them twice, then folded them. Carefully, she stood up, holding her daughter's hand, clearly trying to leave quietly before anyone noticed anything at all. That's when he stood up. He didn't plan it. He didn't think it through. His chair scraped softly against the floor, and the sound made the woman freeze. She turned, panic flashing across her face, like she expected to be scolded or judged. He raised his hand slightly, not wanting to scare her. He smiled, unsure if it would help. He said he had ordered too much food. He said he hated wasting it. He asked if they would help him finish it. His voice was calm, almost casual, like this. What's the most normal thing in the world? The woman hesitated. Pride and fear wrestled in her eyes. She looked down at her daughter, who was now staring at him, confused but hopeful. She tried to refuse. She said they were fine. She said thank you, but really, they had to go. He nodded, still smiling, and gently pushed his plate a little closer to their table. He told her it would make him feel better if they stayed. He told her it would actually be helping him. Sometimes, he said, people help without realizing they're being helped too. The little girl tugged on her mother's hand and whispered something. The woman closed her eyes for a moment, took a breath, then slowly sat back down. He called the waiter over and ordered another plate. But this time something the little girl had been staring at from the menu earlier. He didn't ask. He just remembered. As the food arrived, the little girl's face lit up in a way that made the whole room feel warmer. She didn't rush. She didn't grab. She smiled at her mother first, then at him, and said thank you, in a small, careful voice. The woman watched her eat, tears forming that she tried hard to blink away. She apologized over and over, her voice shaking. She explained without being asked. She talked about losing her job, about moving cities, about how she was trying so hard to make things work for her daughter. He listened, really listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't offer advice. He just listened. When she finished, he told her she didn't need to apologize. He told her that life has a way of pushing good people into quiet corners, but that doesn't make them invisible. The woman looked at him like no one had spoken to her that way in a very long time. When the meal ended, he stood up again. This time to leave. The woman reached for her bag, determined to pay for at least something. He gently shook his head. He said tonight was on him. Not as charity, but as a shared meal between strangers who happened to cross paths. He left some money with the waiter, more than enough, and walked toward the door. Before he could leave, the little girl ran up to him and hugged his leg. It was sudden and tight and honest. She said thank you again, louder. This time, he knelt down, smiled at her, and told her to take care of her mom. The woman watched, unable to speak, her hand over her mouth as tears finally fell as he walked out into the cool night air. He felt something he hadn't felt all day. Not pride, not sadness, just a quiet sense of rightness. He realized that it wasn't about the food at all. It was about noticing. about seeing someone who is trying to disappear and choosing, just for a moment, to see them fully. Somewhere behind him, in that warm, modest restaurant, a little girl finished her meal with a full stomach and a lighter heart. And a mother remembered that kindness can come from strangers without judgment or conditions. And all because someone noticed a small pair of eyes staring at a plate and decided not to look away. If this story touched your heart even a little, remember this. Sometimes the smallest moments carry the biggest impact. A glance, a pause, a choice to care. You never know whose quiet struggle you might ease just by paying attention. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next story.